Lexus is updating their electric RZ right here with very interesting changes. There will be an all-wheel drive version with 408 horsepower, even with emulated shifting like in a petrol car, and also the steer-by-wire with yoke steering will come into series production. Everything you need to know right now with Thomas Nautogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the updated Lexus RZ. They did some aerodynamic changes here, small optimization. The rest remained the same. This one here in a dual tone scheme, very interesting. And this is also the new F Sport version. First time here for the RZ, for the electric vehicle, that we have an F Sport version. Length here is 4 meters 80 or 189 inches. So it's already substantial in length, would be, so to speak, like a premium competitor to a Tesla Model Y in that size segment. And they also did battery upgrades here, now at 77 kilowatt hours. That's gross though. However, they also enlarged the usable battery size. So we have to see like the difference between gross to net, and they claim, together with some efficiency upgrades and the higher battery upgrade, that you have like 100 kilometers or 60 miles more of range. We have to see, of course, when we drive it, but I think we can calculate some 400 kilometers, 250 miles in, even maybe in a little bit bad conditions, but that then when we can drive the vehicle. Charging has also been upgraded, so now standard 22 kilowatt AC. That's important then for some charging stations in the city and so on, and 150 kilowatt DC. That has also been upgraded a little bit, but still it will be about 30 minutes, 10 to 80% state of charge. And interesting that you have the F Sport badge here at the charging flap, right? These here are the larger wheels. These are the 20-inch wheels. So here are 20. There are also smaller ones available, of course, 18-inch, but this is here the F Sport version, so supposed to look even sportier. Then also the contrasting wheel cladding, black frames here around the mirror, and also then the black roof. This is also a very cool gray color, I feel. Then they also did some suspension upgrades, so I'm looking forward to drive it if it's more comfortable or sportier, or maybe even both. Gotta see about that definitely. And towards the rear, a very dramatic design. Look at that here with this rear spoiler. So the F Sport then gives more sportiness. And here it says now RZ 550e Direct 4. So this is the top version, and there will be an entry-level front-wheel drive version. All the facts and figures we also have separate comment and also in the video description once again as usual. And then there are all-wheel drive versions, and there's a normal all-wheel drive version with 380 horsepower. That one already at 4.6 seconds in the acceleration figure. This one here, the 550e, exclusively as the F Sport version, and gets even more horsepower, 408 horsepower, and then 4.4 seconds in the acceleration figure to 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool actually, so that you also get now this performance version as well. We can check out the interior. I can open the door for you like a gentleman today for Michelle. Thanks for the camera work as well. So now first look at the interior. I mean, it's a little bit dark in this studio atmosphere. I hope you can see enough, definitely. And the most obvious thing is that you have the yoke steering wheel here. It is not for all of the versions. So you can, you get it here with the F Sport version. Yes, that's in standard. Also says here the F Sport badge. You could also get it for the luxury trim, but the base trims will have the normal steering wheel if you prefer that. And this is not only a different look, but also different function, because this is purely steer-by-wire. That means no mechanical link. And when you turn it, you don't never have to like turn it all the way around. I've already drove this one in the prototype, and the real difference is with a normal steering wheel, you steer more. Here you keep both hands at the steering wheel. Actually, you could even do it with one hand, but you can keep both hands on the steering wheel, and you just turn like this, and then this it's like a full turning in, and this it can be very useful definitely for maneuvering back and forth and so on. So you can later also check out the video where we already drove that one in the pre-facelift. That was really, really interesting. The material, by the way, this is a whole animal-free interior, so it's really plush here also at the steering wheel. Feels really nice. And also the seats. These here are also, depending on the market, they're called Nulux or Tahara. This is a high-grade leatherette. It's perforated here. You also have seat cooling. It's plush, so really cool. And then some microfiber inserts here. And they have this sporty form, and they're indeed very comfortable. Also here as a tall person. And then here yeah, the headroom to the side. I measure here with 189, 602, some headroom left. You can see here this panoramic roof is split, and it also has, not sure if it's, yeah, it's working here. It has now an electrochrome function. Electrochrome function, so to get that right. So for seeing through or not. It works for both splits, front and rear. Not sure why they did this split here, maybe for additional stability or something like that. And this will also then keep more heat out, for example. Here you can see the cockpit and the front dash, large screen, and then you have here these integrated temperature turning knobs.
No flickering.
Oh, it's okay. It's sometimes when it's flickering on camera, it's not flickering in real life. Thanks for that, for the remark, Michelle. So here, I think it's pretty cool because once again, what you do on this touchscreen is like when you would do like this with the finger, but the button is doing that for you. So although the temperature is in the screen, we can move it, you know, like as a haptical feature. Same. There we go. Yeah, and I think that's a good solution. It feels nice, it's fine. And also the volume knob is here, the normal jog. And I mean, the GPS itself here could definitely be quicker. However, what they did is upgrade the software that now, first of all, gets a route planning. When you hit in destination, you know, you maybe need charging, and it then tells you which charging stop to go for. And you also have a preconditioning of the battery now. That's, of course, very important when you head to the charging stop. Yeah, you've already seen the seat ventilation. It's also in the screen here. The sounds are funny, aren't they? So this here, like for the seat heating or the seat cooling, for example. Heated steering wheel is here. Yeah, I would definitely you can turn off these sounds in the infotainment system. I would definitely do that. I mean, the yoke steering here, I mean, it looks cool, definitely. It's not exactly a yoke because it's closed here, so a little bit different. More reminds of like a, because yoke is more like open, like in a Tesla, but it's more like a Formula One steering wheel, so to speak. And you do have digital instruments here. You also have a head-up display. You know, you can't see that from here now, like this, like the head-up display opening, and then we can see the head-up display there in the front. So that's also available, actually. Real buttons at the steering wheel, like a volume jog for the volume, and here you can also press something like for the music title and so on. So yeah, very interesting proposition, and I can tell you it really drives very, very differently. Then, by the way, inside of the doors, here the top part is somewhat structured, not super soft, but also not hard, but you have a structure. And here in this trim, we also have nice microfiber at the inside of the doors. That's lovely. Actually, maybe Michelle can show that there on the other side. And also this door knob, then you can actually press it in. That's then for the easy opening. Yeah, that's pressing in. And when you pull it, that would be the manual opening. So Michelle is helping us here. Thank you. So that's the thing. Yeah, no covering at the inside of the doors. So there's no fabric at the inside. That would be probably pretty cool for the Lexus. However, I like the floor mats. Look at that. A fabric leatherette mix for the floor mats. This is something that you maybe sometimes get like in like premium aftermarket shops or something. Now it's already standard right here in this vehicle. There is no glove box, neither in the Toyota brother, the BZ4X, nor in the Lexus RZ here, by the way. Middle console is quite large. You have here the adaptive cup holders. Then for putting in the gears, press down, right for drive, down, left for reverse. Inductive charging pad is not ventilated, so the phones probably will overheat, at least the iPhones. And then here USB-C charging is also possible. I often do it like that either when you can deactivate it, you can deactivate it, or put it with the screen first in there and then charge it with the cables, for example. That's also possible. There's also a hotkey here for the camera view, that you can directly access that, you know, when everything is properly running. And then here, this middle part you can fold down to the passenger side. Yeah, they have on the stroller like the key here, for example, inside, and also to my side it's also possible. This is a plush, you know, top from that, but yeah, it could maybe be a little bit better dampened. But I think yeah, it should be fine. Actually, let's see the left elbow. Yeah, I think it's fine. So yeah, definitely very interesting position here, and yeah, the seats are really comfortable. Also here, how the shoulder support is working and so on. Let's check out the rear, how much space I have there. You know that in the Toyota brother you do have a lot of space, and I do expect the same here. Now we already been driving that one once, of course, and yeah, there's a lot of legroom left, so that's very good usage of space, and also very comfortable and plush seats here in the rear with the perforation. Then Isofix at the outside seats each, and let me pull this one down here. Also adaptive cup holders here in the rear. This, for example, also a difference that in the Toyota brother you don't have that. There the cup holders are not adaptive in the rear. And then we have in the lower part here 2 USB-C chargers, also seat heating for the rear, 3 levels, and in the lower part we have a real power socket, and the space with the headroom here. Once again, this put that one up here. So here, yeah, some space left here, that's fine. So overall, comfortable, lot of space. Here also the same covering at the inside of the doors like we see, for example, on the front seats, and also the same mechanism here with one push and then just the emergency manual release right here. So the usage of space is actually pretty good. I mean, it's also a long vehicle, yes, but you do have a long, you know, lot of space here, definitely. And I like the quality finishes in the vehicle, definitely. And yeah, it could indeed be a nice alternative to the Tesla Model Y, and in that respect at least. Let's check out the trunk right now. First of all, it's of course an electric hatch. There's the button. And then, oh, they didn't install this cover here on this showroom car. So yeah, let me just first show you that. Oh, there's like an additional floor mat also with the leatherette covering here. You don't have to use it, you can use it, of course. Underneath you have some space for the cable, for example, or some more luggage space. And because this here an open area, I can also easily fold the seats from here like that. So that's pretty cool. And let's see if we can make any use of this cover. It should be this way around. And then live in action. It's also a good test, like there we go. And then this one is hanging right in here and in there. So yeah, that might be a little bit too moving while driving, not sure. Gotta test that when we can drive this car once again very soon. And measuring here the 520 liters, this is like 1.40 meters in width, wider in the front part, and the normal length here of the trunk is about 1.40 meters. That's also where it's like a little bit longer maybe than the BZ4X, and the total length here, so almost the full ruler fits in. So this is like 2 meters or like 78, 79 inches, maybe like here 190 meters, something like that. By the way, here you see the shifting pedals, and they're great. They give you like a nice feedback and also sound. Also, of course, I was shifting up on the other side, and this will also be connected to an emulation that you have the feeling like being in a petrol car, although you are an electric vehicle. That you like. It's kind of like it's a fake thing, definitely, but you will have the feeling like, but that for an electric vehicle. And looking forward how that one works, because that was not available when I was driving the pre-facelift yet. And the second vehicle here for you, this one is not the F Sport trim, and then you can see where in the F Sport this is also black, this is then here in vehicle color, so a little bit less dramatic in look, so to speak. This is also here a silver color, not a gray color, so a little bit brighter, more shiny, so to speak. You still have the high gloss wheel arches here, and here also 20-inch wheels, but this is just a different wheel styling. I think it's wheel styling, I actually prefer these ones, or what do you think? And if you don't have the F Sport, biggest design difference is actually in the rear, because then you don't have this additional dramatic spoiler here. And I would suppose that this version is then also better for the aerodynamics and thus later also for the range. What else? Since this is not the F Sport here, we also do not have this special Formula 1 steering wheel, and in this trim we also have the microfiber seats. So these are the two big changes here. I mean, both the leatherette seats and the microfiber seats, they are both really nice, I have to say. Let's just take a test seat. First of all, also very good microfiber material. You know, there are also different quality grades of microfiber, and this one is a really thick, high quality one that really feels superb, gotta say that. And they're also very comfortable. The form is also a little bit different of these seats. The F Sport seats are a little bit more enclosed. Yeah, just wondering. I mean, the microfiber itself is really cool, I feel that maybe for tall people, the sport seats in the F Sport are even a little bit better. So I think they hold you a little bit better in the upper area, and that relieves stress of the lumbar area. So, I mean, they're also really good, but maybe the F Sport are even a little bit better. And here you can see how it looks like with a normal steering wheel. Let's see if this is any powered here. There we go. So here also in and out, I mean, it looks huge in comparison, but it's not huge in general, you know what I mean? Here also different shifting pedals, for example, and also here like you can better see like the stalks and so on. So this also feels really nice from the material, from the surface, and also plush underneath. And I mean, both have something, because on the one hand it's good to have like a classic thing, you know, why not? There's nothing wrong about the steering wheel, you know, it's a very good steering wheel. Also, it's a great size. The bigger difference will of course then be how it just will play out in driving, you know, and as I said, soon you can also tune into the driving review of the pre-facelift where I tested both systems. And also different decor elements, like a more matte-ish decor element here, which is actually quite cool, and gray here, for example, for the middle console, so that we have a little bit less black here and more gray, is actually also something pretty nice. And we can also take a look at the rear, because there we also have the microfiber seats then. There we go. It looks also quite fancy. I also like that it's not only just plain black for the seat material, but they have this gray microfiber. That's also something really nice and plush, so that gives you also a special vibe here in that interior. Let's see, under the hood, is there a frunk? No, there's not. I mean, at least they used all the space they have. And pricing probably will once again be about 60 to 70,000 euros. This is of course the top high-end version, will be the most expensive one. And if you haven't seen our driving review of the RZ so far, tune into that one right now. Or what about the brother, the BZ4X?